Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Still taking your calls as usual on 876 922 4112 to 5. And the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. As usual, we look forward to your full participation. After all, it is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. And so we want you to share with us what's on your mind. What are your thoughts, your ideas, your suggestions, your questions, your issues, your concerns? We'd love to hear from you, our faithful listeners. 876 922 4112 to 5 and 876 365 3346. So let's keep those messages going and listen out for those calls as well here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. And some other messages coming through from quite a number of sources. This one saying, Dervan, I'm telling Morgan, that's that London, Old Birmingham, New York, don't let garbage pile up and see, then plan to clear. They planned a schedule, ensuring stick to it that prevents any pile up. Okay. So you're comparing it or you're sharing it with us. So I missed a couple of words as well. So let me see. Let me try again. Dervan, I am telling Morgan, and that would be Morgan in Birmingham, that London, Old Birmingham, New York, don't let garbage pile up and see then. Plan to clear. They planned a schedule, ensuring stick to it that prevented any pileup. Okay. All right, we got the message. Thank you. This one says, oh, that's a call. No, can't call right now. Sorry about that. Theo Chambers, good afternoon to you. We see you online. Thank you for tuning in. Tony Kelly, welcome home. Hello to you too. And thank you for your many messages. Richie Nibar has been busy as well. And Bishop Douglas Gooden, Richie Innocent. Also on the shout out list, we have quite a few more messages coming through. Wow, this is going to take a while. All right, let's go to the top here. And see. Good afternoon as well to Dr. Merritt B. Henry. See her popping up online. And the device here seems to be buffering. So there are some issues there, perhaps to deal with the internet connection. And we'll see if we can get a member of the team to assist us in clearing that up. In the meantime, we do a refresher of the device so that we can get it going once again here on, well, it's pretty much frozen and buffering. So we'll have to move on. Definitely have to move on until the device decides to come back. As we continue with more on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM, and still taking your calls on 876 922 4112 to 5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. So we look out for more of your messages and your calls right now on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. So we look forward to your full participation, as we've said. And we welcome your comments, your questions, your issues, your positions, whatever is on your mind. Please feel free to share as we keep it going here on both sides of the story. Poro 106 FM. And we have a couple of discussions lined up as well, and information to share with you, our faithful listeners, at home and abroad. So we keep it going and get ready for the next segment here on both sides of the story, Poro 106. And we also see what looks like a feature that was done on Bob Art's TV channel, Reggae Prime Minister Ras Asta Black. He's very active online, very active online. And we have some follow-ups to take care of as well. And we look forward to following those up. We know, for example, that Nicola in central Jamaica is tuned in. Anthony out of Montego Bay is also on board. And Stafford Grant has become a frequent listener. And so too Steve MacDonald, now a regular. We appreciate them all for their contributions on the program here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. From across the pond in London. Who is this? Keith Brown? All right, we need to take a break. Let's take the break and come back. Franklin MacDonald directing our attention to the Morant Bay Rebellion of 1865. Thank you very much. We have homework there already. In the meantime, we're listening out for and looking forward to having your messages and your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. So we're taking your calls and your messages here on both sides of the story, right here on Power 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5 and 876-365-3346. Quite a few numbers. And we encourage you to get involved and share your thoughts, your ideas, your comments, your issues, your concerns, happenings at home and abroad. Thank you for those who have messaged us already. Let's get some more coming in. Thank you very much. As we continue with both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And keep those calls coming in. We have been informed as well that it's the anniversary of the famous meteorite fall of 7th November 1492. It is said to be the oldest precisely dated meteorite. We have a museum and scientific collections, which we're told we can check the dates based on the link that Mr. MacDonald has shared with us. Thank you very much. And this one should be fascinating. World Economic Forum, the top 10 emerging technologies of 2024. And the top 10, it's taking a bit to load. The top 10 emerging technologies report is a vital source of strategic intelligence. And it's going to, you can Google it, it's worth reading. But we perhaps will not be able to read it here and now. So you can Google top 10 emerging technologies of 2024. Top 10 emerging technologies of 2024. And this is outlined in different ways. And it's worth reading. Definitely worth reading. When we get that opportunity, we will do just that. But in the meantime, thank you very much for sharing that reminder with respect to the top 10 emerging technologies of 2024. Let's see if we can get that list. There's a list which we're trying to bring forth, and that will give us a bit of a summary. Immersive technology for the built world. Carbon capturing microbes. It's heavy stuff, heavy stuff. But with a little time, you can go through the pages and learn about these technologies. And we look forward to putting in some reading in that regard. So it's the top 10 emerging technologies of 2024. So we continue with more of your messages and your calls. 876 922 4112 to 5, and the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. In the meantime, let's go to the phone lines and take some calls. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello. Good afternoon. I'm sorry, just a moment. We're not hearing you clearly. You sound distant. So let's go. Hello. I don't know. Let me see if I can change something here, because your sound is cloudy. We want to make sure we're hearing you, so we'll make an adjustment. This is both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM, because we want to ensure that we are hearing you so that we can respond accordingly. All right. Hello? Remind us of the particular location, please. After the break. After the break. One moment, please.
FDIC deposit insurance scheme. Want to save your money in a commercial bank, merchant bank, or building society? Your deposit is covered up to a maximum of $1.2 million per depositor per financial institution if the institution fails. All the information that you need is available at jdic.org, and you can follow their social media platform for more information.
Calling all merchants, calling all merchants. Boost your pre-Christmas sales. Be a part of a Black Friday frenzy. Enjoy your special discount to promote your business across TV, radio, press, and online, along with exclusive store branding. Sign up now. Call our marketing department at 876-926-1100. Black Friday biggest shopping event runs Thursday, November 28th to Saturday. The event Jamaica is presented by the RGR Dealer Communications Group in partnership with Marketing.
Hi. Thanks for holding here on both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and thanks to the listener who's on the line right now. Thanks for your patience. Please continue. What office? Okay. What's I would like to think both parties are, we expect more from one than the other. But, oh, well, you shouldn't have a problem proving that then. Mm. And sometimes some of these things are worth challenging, just so that you you test your rights, so to speak. But yeah, they yeah, they can. Well, they'll tell you that's why they usually say to the clients first. There's your documents before leaving the counter. Uh, All right, sorry about that. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. taking your calls on 876-922-4112 and the text line the same as the WhatsApp number 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. So we continue with more here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And we continue to welcome your calls and your messages from all over the world. Looking forward to your full participation as usual. And taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5 or 876-365-3346. So keep those calls and messages coming in here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. So the lines are open, and it's over to you to take advantage of that opportunity to air your issues and your concerns here on both sides of the story. So over to you, faithful listeners, home and abroad, and we look forward to your continuing contribution on both sides of the story. Also, got some rain earlier this afternoon, not bad at all. We trust that we are learning to better secure our road network insofar as that is possible. And looking forward to some more of your messages and your comments here on both sides of the story. Coming up at 3:30 this afternoon, it will be your legal corner with U.S. immigration attorney Delia Walker Huntington. That's the information I have up to this point, and that would provide an opportunity for callers in need of that kind of information to get an understanding of the likely happenings on U.S. soil. So we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, though, we look out for your messages and to take your calls with a view to assisting you here on both sides of the story, Power 106. As we keep it going here on the program, and thanking you for your continuing support and listenership here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Michael from Belle Plaine in Clarendon has messaged us. He says, "Good afternoon, teacher, to you and Power 106 family. Happy Friday. It's raining here in Belle Plaine. Keep safe, teacher." Will do, and keep safe too. Thank you for your message here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And we look forward to more of your calls, your issues, your concerns, your messages. And the lines remain open to you, our faithful listeners all over the globe. So we look forward to your calling us on those numbers 876-922-4112-5. That's 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. In the meantime, we keep it going here on both sides of the story. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website. Go dash live on your smart device all over the world, taking your feedback and listening out for your messages and your calls here on both sides of the story. Poro 106 FM. There are all kinds of issues of concern. Feel free to share, and we'll be happy to oblige. Nicole is on Facebook. Hello, Nicole Henry. Thank you for checking in, and all the very best. Franklin McDonald is back, and he is having his say as well. And so the messages are still coming in here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Coming up at 3:30, a bit of discussion around what happened on election day in general terms, before, during, and after. So that debate rages on, and like any other citizenry, you can well imagine the discourse, the conversations, and the expressions of interest in those matters. After all, at some point, we have reason to pay attention to happenings on US soil, on American soil. So that continues. But we welcome that discussion, which is scheduled to come up at 3:30, I believe. And we'll be happy to listen in and participate. In the meantime, we continue the build up to that interview, that discussion, that conversation, and see how far that goes as we monitor the different perspectives and positions on political matters. There's more after the break.
Contractors, developers, and small builders contact coast-to-coast group of companies for high-quality concrete products. The time when coast-to-cost group of companies is
Hence, Alumni Association presents Evening of Excellence 2024, sponsored by Stanmore Distributors. Quality you can taste. Join us for an extraordinary evening dedicated to celebrating the remarkable achievement and dedication of our exceptional parties at the Gala Dinner and Award Ceremony, Wednesday, November 13th, starting at 5:30 p.m. at the 18th Town Kitchen. guest speaker on the remote meeting to OJ during the XCB Financial Week. For more information, email Case and Napa Association 1910@gmail.com. November is Food Month, and Vina seasoning advertising specials are ready. Your brand new edge in reserves, our strategic placement, and massive reach will help you seize the market. Get ahead of the race to elevate your business. Claim your brand's rightful position and lock in your sweet spot. Call your legal representative or 876 email advertising at either.com. Get seen, get results. Advertise with the lead on this movement and dominate. That's it, friend. 106.1 to 106.9 of the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can tune in on your mobile phones by downloading one, you will know H281 if you're in the US, and if you're in the UK, you can dial 08060060913. Plus, listen to us on OneSpotMedia.com and the OneSpot Media app, or log on to pro-jamaica.com. Our 106 FM, where all news and entertainment and the incredible talk radio in so many ways. On air and online. Join your favorite nighttime show, Dear Pasta, with Reverend Dr. Aaron the Mats, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 8 p.m. In Fort Langston, and have great discussions with Dear Pasta as we exchange views on a range of subjects. That's Dear Pasta with Reverend Dr. Aaron the Mats, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM, the Power 106 FM app, and go-jamaica.com. Join us weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. for Power Play, our 106 FM's action program dedicated to the world of sports. Kaibigan, nagkaroon ng edisyon ng Power Play. Power Play with Flip Williams, focusing on everything sports in Jamaica and around the world. Make sure to tune in to Power Play, providing invigorating sports analysis and discussion weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app. You're listening to Power 106 FM. Time is now 3:15. My God, it's now this way. So, Shabbat. It's my king. It's my God. In my rest and my rising. So, Shabbat. It's my God when I step out. So, Shabbat. It's my king.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we are getting ready to join a discussion coming out of this week's elections in the United States of America. That discussion should get underway in a few minutes, but it remains to be seen how things will pan out. But for the most part, the trajectory seems quite evident, and it remains to be seen in the final analysis how it all unfolds. And there are different views, different perspectives, different different ideas, different levels of understanding, and it's all been coming together in different ways and being reflecting accordingly, being reflected accordingly. So, in just a few minutes, we will connect with U.S. Immigration Attorney Delia Walker Huntington on the subject of U.S. elections. So, curious to find out how it all has been unfolding. So, the Republicans appear to have had a great finish, it seems, and it remains to be seen how the Democrats move from here. Considering the weight of the resources and plans that have been made and executed. RN2 CEO says hello. JM Master Songwriter says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Good afternoon. Leonie Rattray, hello to you. Inez Iona Campbell Murray, good afternoon to you as well. Natalie Winter, hello. Thank you very much for those messages. Keep them coming in. I appreciate your listenership and support here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. So we'll still have some form of a celebration here in Jamaica as well. That's my understanding. We wish the organizers all the best. And let's see what comes out of this. But these debates will rage on for a long time to come. quite a few firsts as well. And it remains to be seen how it will all take shape going forward. But so it is. And so, in a matter of a few seconds, we will go straight to the discussion.
Tell us about any illegal guns coming from customs control areas. Call White Stop at 311. We're talking about it. It's a good because it will have insurance. It's a account that goes with insurance. The teacher might be more than because insurance. The same case here, international. No need to be guys for one fight. For like a that's a thing. One go, one start.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And would like to say a very special hi and welcome to Akeelia Moore. Good afternoon. Us on Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And we're going to be connecting with U.S. immigration attorney Dahlia Walker Huntington. Yes. Miss Dahlia, are you there? Hello? Hello? Okay, she's there. Oh, it's not. All right, we'll make an adjustment there. So let's say the break. Hmm? No. What?
Yeah, somebody's supposed to call? It's a regular caller, you know.
You mean Daily Walker Huntington?
Oh, that's not today. That's not today. Just call us.
Okay. So, so who's going to be talking?
Repeat.
I was just trying to find out who's going to be talking.
Oh, it's just you talking to a caller.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay. All right, let's continue with more on both sides of the story. Poro 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon. I am fine, thanks. How are you? What's on your mind?
Bring some awareness to and some upcoming events that the Master Political Cohort of 2024 will be undertaking on the 14th of November, which is the World Diabetes Day, where listeners benefit. November is Diabetes Awareness Month,
Mm-hmm.
and as such, the cohort will be undertaking a first year focus on the empowering global, stepping beyond the diabetes. And this will be done at the undercut the Faculty of Medical Sciences at UA Mona. And we will be starting from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, the person who may not know, diabetes is a leading cause of death in Jamaica. And as such, we want to bring awareness to the population, to the public,
Mm-hmm.
to understand that we can prevent and manage diabetes. Now, for this event, we want persons to come to expect that we'll be having free health checks, we're doing blood sugar, blood pressure, and BMI checks. We're having expert talk. We'll be hearing from leading experts in diabetes prevention management and the complications. We'll be having fitness sessions. So it will be a very fun, interactive, informative session. Fun activities for all ages. We'll be able to engage in interactive activities and games. And of course, we'll be having giveaways, so we don't want persons to think that we're just about training alone. It's going to be a fun activity. One of our main giveaways will be a 1 week gym membership. And I know persons are even fitness now, so we want them to come and take up the offer. We also have as our MP, Ms. Nikisha Barnes, who will be giving us that energy, that boost on the day. So we want persons to come out and participate. It's going to be a very empowering event so persons can leave having a greater sense of appreciation as it relates to this chronic disease that is affecting many Jamaicans. And we believe that by doing this event, certainly more persons will become advocates and will be empowering their community as well.
Yes. Yes, indeed. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Mr. Kelly, who is based in the UK, Jamaican, he has been on this subject for some time now, quite detailed. He has an understanding of it, but uh, he's going to be doing. I think he has done a couple of presentations already. So it's quite useful work to be creating a greater level of public awareness. So that's a good thing.
And I hope the persons are also interested with additional information. You also have a Twitter handle, Diabetes Awareness Guru 2024, and find it here, as well as if you want to get additional information around the issue of diabetes, you can visit the site ncdip.moh.gov.jm, and they can read up about diabetes because it's something that's affecting many of our. We need persons to be screened. That's a very critical area for particularly those in public health. You understand that it's a major issue, as I said earlier, affecting many Jamaicans, and we don't want persons to wait until things are severely bad for them to basically be told that it's too far advanced. You want to get them screened and be treated early. We want prevention to be a focus here as well. So certainly more persons will come out better for the population.
You're so right. So how has the subject been received by members of the population you've encountered and engaged in conversations, discussions, etc.?
Well, I believe persons are more receptive now than in the past with the sort of the Jamaica Move initiative trying to promote non-communicable disease. That persons about non-communicable disease, that is in one of them. Persons are becoming more aware, more health conscious. We see where persons are making the necessary adjustments in diet, general lifestyle practices. Uh, you know, there is a movement that is taking place. We may not see a massive wave, but as each person does his or her part,
Mm-hmm.
we believe that we can curtail this problem. Because it's in our control. But without the information, without the knowledge, the change that we would want to see, we want persons to own the process of self management. It's not just an initiative of the public health sector. It should be my own personal concern. But it does start with the sector in bringing about a certain level of awareness and ensuring that we are on top of our game in terms of the knowledge, the science, what is the literature telling us. Where are we? And I believe that we are well advanced and doing very well in terms of engaging the population in different spheres to be very much on board with the focus of reducing this problem.
Yeah, there's no doubt that this kind of education is needed. It's a necessity.
Definitely.
Mhm. All right, so give us the matters to remember as we go off from this conversation discussion on the subject matter. When you have gotten to that part, you could just give us the reminders.
Yes. So again, it's November 14th, that's World Diabetes Day. It starts at 9 a.m. We run through till 3 p.m. and we'll be located at the underground at the Faculty of Medical Sciences at UNONA. And we will be having a grand time here together. So if you want to get your fee checked, please, blood sugar, blood pressure, you name it.
And that's CHECKS, right? Free checks.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is it.
Okay. Because we don't want anybody turning up and say, where for them money there?
No, no. We want persons to come in and not be bothered by, you know, issues related to cost. decorations too,
Hmm.
keeping with the mandate of the strawberry.
And wellness. Hmm. Well, we're happy to make the platform available to you and any other individual who is on the same track and doing general outreach. Are doing, yes. But thank you very much. That's as I said, that's a good thing. Very good thing.
Thank you for having me on your show today.
No problem. Anytime. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We'll be back in a moment.
I'm just fucking talking
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM. Ron is on. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much, Dervan. Good afternoon to you and your lovely audience.
We reciprocate wholeheartedly.
A lot of stuff. I was asking you, how are you doing today?
I am fine, thanks. How are you?
Wonderful. A bit contemplative, but nonetheless, a lot of things, is happening. We just had the election. We just re-elected. They just re-elected President Donald Trump elect. His second term. It was quite a contentious 4-year campaign. I mean, these people go back to back, from one election and it's been quite fractious, as I'm sure you hear across the media.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had issues about the cognitive ability of the sitting president, Joe Biden,
Mm-hmm.
who many suspected was cognitively impaired, because this, after all, is a gentleman who had brain surgery years ago. He had a very difficult brain surgery. So I was a bit surprised when I saw how he put up himself and his party to run as president. So anyway, we had that. And we had the mercurial quint American capitalist New Yorker, Donald Trump, threw his hat in the ring. And there's a reason why I emphasize New Yorker. Because if you're familiar with a lot of those real native New Yorkers, born and bred New Yorkers, especially those wealthy figures in New York, they're very feisty. That has been my experience. I've actually worked with one, a doctor, a lady, by the way, and she was quite something else, bordering on rude. She was an older lady. They were also in the billionaire field. There was a woman called Leona Helmsley. She was married to wealthy.
I'm wondering. No, another name came into mind.
Yes,
Sherma.
She was a wealthy hotel heiress. She owned a lot of luxury hotels across New York City. And she was one of them who made the famous statement that only poor people pay taxes. It created a because she was a very mean employee. She wasn't a very nice lady. But they're quite, the legendary New York City. They are very brass, rude, many will say, and they're very aggressive about money. After all, Donald Trump father was one of these big capitalist landowner, developer type. These people, their business is ruthless. If you've been in the property market aspect of business, you'll learn that they are very ruthless. But it's the American way. So I said all of that to say particularly unusual about Donald Trump as an American big capitalist who has a lot of power, whether he's in government or not. You know, he's a major landowner, property owner. I think he owns like about probably about 5,000 properties all over the world, and more, upwards of 5,000. Because I've seen his place all over the place. He had a big development in Panama, you name it, it's all over, in Ireland, so on and so forth. So there's no question. And people who own that kind of money, and we know very well in Jamaica that they get, the rules don't necessarily get put on them. They don't usually observe the rules. They get breaks with our big capitalists. And we see it in the foreign, the same thing. Now, as it regards to the hot button issue of immigration, one of the things I'm going to say about immigration before I comment on Donald Trump's president-elect position on the matter of immigration, I'm going to say this, that Jamaicans, I'm speaking specifically about our people, should not be overly anxious and full of anxiety and so on. That's not a good, and you'd have to panic. That's not a good thing. We more Jamaicans. There are lots of single Jamaicans here, women and men. We want to see them falling in love, right, to get themselves straightened out. So we want to see more fall in love. They have to put themselves in a better disposition. A lot of times our men, you know, some of them not really up to the scratch. They're not as polished with their carrying on and the drinking and the smoking and the this and the that. You got to get serious. So if you're living in the States, you're out of status, you know what to do. You got to, you know, not panic as long as you don't commit a criminal offense. You don't have to necessarily hide under the bed, but you know, but keep a, you know, circumspect profile. You know, and don't do that whether Donald Trump in office or whoever. It's just common sense, you know. And you got to keep out of the, you know, some of the Jamaicans who don't have no paper and smoke ganja out in the open and all of that stuff, and drink and boisterous and carry on. You can't do that. Use some common sense. But other than that, I would say that what Jamaicans ought to be doing, and you have a tendency not to help each other. You want to exploit each other, right? We need to think of mutual benefits for each other. We look out for each other, take care of each other, don't rip off each other, especially in a foreign country. This is not your country up here. You understand? So we need to be very mindful of that. Another thing, as far as that matter is concerned, we want also the immigration authorities, the immigration practitioners, I'm going to use that word, not to be exploiting our people up here. You're telling them you can't help them and you know you can't help them. And you're taking them money. Because I've seen it happen even in the church. Some old people lost their money. You come into the church and promise the people that you can help them, and you can't help them. And these were Jamaican attorneys. Don't do that. And we want to also see from you same Jamaican attorneys in foreign. Give some pro bono work also. Do some pro bono work also, not just plan to profiteer off our people. We don't mind your benefit and you're working for a living, that's fine. But please, too much of this nonsense. You're telling people that you can't help them and you know you can't help them. And remember, Jamaican people who are listening, there are just a couple ways for you to be able to get a status here in the United States. You have to have a whether you have a spouse who is a citizen or a legal resident who you are married to. You understand? Or you have a family member which takes a very long time, if you're especially if you're over the age of 18. So you gotta use sense. And if you're offered a work situation, your employer file for you, that's different. And it takes time depending on what qualification you have, skill. So please don't go with no attorneys telling you they can help you, take your money, take your retainer, and they know they can't do anything for you. I hate to see that happen. I'm not putting any aspersion on any particular attorney, but I've seen it. So we need to clean that up. So beyond that, Jamaicans, there are lots of opportunities for immigration to other places. It's not only the US or Canada. There's also opportunity with small money that you can go and open business in Africa. They love our products. What am I talking about? They love the African Jamaican culture. They love the T-shirt, the Rasta paraphernalia.
Hold a moment, please.
Go ahead. Pero más que veo. Yo no voy a estar. Me va a decirme. Listen.
Thanks for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And let's go back to the caller. Thanks for holding. Hello? Are you there? Hello?
Hello?
We're back on the air. Go ahead, please. We're back on the air. Go ahead, please.
On the air, Rebel. Office Dervan?
Who was on who was on the line waiting?
I'm on easier, but we don't know if that talk next man to go or if they let him go or what.
Yes, we were still talking to someone a while ago.
Yeah, but we don't hear my talk again, so. You want to link him up forward or we can go and proceed.
Hold a moment. Hello? Good afternoon. All right, let's move on then. Let's take another call. But for the previous caller, if he is listening, he is free to call us back. Let's continue. Hello, good afternoon.
Blessed noon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my honorable, give thanks now. The spirit of brotherhood amongst ourselves as black people worldwide, You see, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, now that we say Donald Trump win the election, and him say him about dismiss LGBT, the gay people then, and take a stand against them, So Prime Minister Andrew Holness say Jamaica is America's backyard and he will always support America. So you want to know the stand where he will take now, he will stand with America. Like when Mr. Man say he always support America. Now that Donald Trump say he will dismiss gay people, He not stand with them right now, So you want to know what Prime Minister Andrew Holness are deal with. But there we see Kamala Harris tried all over the world, all the continent, see it? And I tell extra governments to them to legalize LGBT in them country, And we see Prime Minister Andrew Holness go America also the other day, So I want to know if you must take a stand against gayism in the world now, like how President Trump is against it. And he say he will always support America. So we want to know what kind of stand he will take. So we're calling upon him to come tell the nation what kind of stand he will take. He will stand with Donald Trump, who promise to support America, and get out all the gays them from amongst us. Another deal with you now. What do you think?
How do you plan to do that?
Donald say him not deal with them, in our country, Him not promote it. Like how you see down here the other day, under Biden, them slide the big old flag up at the embassy up at Kingston, and not even Jamaica government couldn't say nothing. The whole of the people them have to stop it.
Why?
You know that you have a change of government.
Why? Why? Why they have to stop it?
I and I, the street people, the poor and they have not who deal with the gayism in Jamaica. Because we know say biblically it is an abomination. We stand against this, but hear the government say nothing.
Well, you would know though. You would know that there's a thing called foreign soil. Once you get on that,
I'm listening.
It's just like you go to the embassy to get a visa. You can't just do whatever you please because it is known as foreign soil.
So anywhere the embassy, like American embassy, is here in Jamaica, it's foreign side for the embassy depend, right?
Yes.
So we're calling upon Prime Minister Andrew Holness now to come address the nation, because I know say Jamaica people now deal with dating from long time. You know, say so we done. We don't support that, We don't support gayism. So now that America, we pledge the support. I said that now against gays. Take us, we want to know if Jamaica will take the same stand with Trump. Because we see Trump did carry and some Commonwealth leaders, some CARICOM leaders, Caribbean leaders, they invite them up foreign day, for meet, all of them. All CARICOM leaders in the invite. Some of them, Jamaica was one, So now that Trump come forward and now, and him knowing that the gay thing, we want to know where Jamaica deal with, if them can come out openly and stand up against this abomination, where Biden and Kamala want to push for the world, We want to know that. See it. So we give thanks greatly to Marcus Messiah Garvey, differently, who come show us Africa is to the African, those at home and us abroad, who born out of Africa. See it? That Donald Trump say he want to make America great again, So we calling upon all black sons and daughters in America and in Jamaica here in the Western world here, to stand up and make Africa great again, return to its former glory. as a proud black independent continent. And I see it, because when you look right around the world, I know the whole of them don't want we as black people. To Sweden, they at 30, I don't know if you see the news, inside my pay 30 odd, 1,000 or 100,000. And people must volunteer for left out of them country. What if a European country I do that? Immigrants, migrants, it's left out of them country. And it's black people, they matter. You know, see it? So, we call it up on Dan Alper, because they don't want left out of the white men country. That them way each up in America. And I go on like America for them. Like the brethren just say, America is not for us.
So how is that going to work now? How is that going to work now?
So, what's going to work? Repatriation, because in the pipeline, you know, the state governor, them in Mississippi, it's in the pipeline decades ago, them vote unanimously. And them say black people come populate up America. And then vote unanimously to send them home, run them out of America. So we don't know why we don't want to left out of America and England. The people them say they want a history white America and Britain. And we did it. After we interest come last, if no interest at all, you know, more than the labor force in this country. You know, see it. So we want to know what we are dealing with as black people. America no want we. See them around we up there now. All who say them legal up there. Like you hear them say them ban up there. You know, America make sure tell you know we could have ban up there a million times. As long as you no black, you no come from there. That's why them turn a Jamaican parentage. Like we see them a link up Carmela one day at Jamaica government. It's about him father come from Jamaica. A campaign. What a judgment.
Him or her?
No. So when you stand at Jamaica get stand now. And them they boot up Carmela. And Donald Trump winner now. So all them stake I like a leaks them a look, you know, likes them a look, you know, free food ticket. When them a come talk about Jamaican parentage and sitting. You know? And them a look help. You know? To them so belly, licky and belly. Jamaica government, that child government. You know see?
So your belly full now?
Honorable? Don't hear you. I don't hear you. I want, you know. Repeat.
Oh man, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, so we see Sweden and some other country, well, for European country, I don't know the immigrants them know, and Trump said this is one of the biggest migration thing I go on now in England. Black people, they're afraid. And I see it. I'm going to run them out. There's about hundreds of thousands of them up there. Where them America, where that's in a street, you know. So them afraid to know, because them up, run them out of America. Jamaica no want we neither. Because Jamaica is in the America, so we better find back Africa. You know, we could have banned a million times Jamaica no free. Because we want to know if I truly ban we have said Jamaica free. Who give it Jamaica? We can't land from Africa come here in the 15th, 16th century. No brainwash education then give it. Eh? And tell about Jamaica free through them institution. Jamaica no, Africa yes. So we could build our faith to return home to Africa, build a continent of our own. Every man work and build his own nation. China work and build China. Europe work and build Europe. India work and build India. You know, so what I'm we as black people, while we don't want to build our something. Because this nation destroyed, you know. A continent and its people, exploitation and slavery and colonialism. You know, see it, and then mash it up. So we have to take a stand now and stand up for our right in the world. You see me I deal with my brother?
Yeah.
We never slave no one, you know. We never slave no one, you know, do no one nothing, we have nothing to shame of. You know? So we must demand our right and justice we done to I and I as a people. You know, see it? Remember America, England, then lynch you, them pluck out your fingernail, then do we all manner of evil. You know, so we are tell back at these people for. Why we are tell back at these people? And that more I know. Left from Jamaica or anyway in the Caribbean and America, say them going to green a pasta. And when them come back, when them say them born, they not birth, you know, when them born, because we did birth somewhere before we born in Jamaica through slavery, you know. So them a come back with them born like Jamaica, yeah. Then come back in a old age. Them better have two youth we could have inherit where them go labor for in the cold. Because them come here, couple years them dead, them not get to enjoy with them go work for. So it comes in. You see me a deal comes in. And when them come back here, them have fear friend in a Jamaica, yeah, frightened to come back here also.
Hold a moment, please.
Join us weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. for Power Play. Our 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to the world of sports. Power Play with Cliff Williams, focusing on everything sports in Jamaica and around the world. Make sure to weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. and the Power 106 FM.
Hello?
Thanks a lot. Sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Thanks for holding.
So, my honorable people, so we can see with our eyes, you know, say the white men do want to in them country, you know. So we must find back Africa, you know. And we calling upon them to take out them white subject called white men, women, and children must come out of the continent, you know, and find back Europe, where them come from, or you know, where them come from, India, where them come from, you know. And we have a history, Black Africa. Because when Margaret Thatcher win her first election, you know, she said she want a history white Britain. Churchill, they said the same thing too. Say want a all white England. You know, we agree with them. You know, so we want a Black Africa. You know, from Cape to Cairo, from Dakar to Djibouti, you know. All free Africa, we want a Black Africa, a Black continent, you know. So all white women and children must come out of Africa. You know, we not beg them in this judgment. We not beg the white men them to come out. Like we see we there in the Western world and we have to beg to return home. You know? We have to demand to live out here. You know, see, we not beg the white men to come out of Africa, they don't mean us no good. You know, see, we have to slavery out from generation to generation, and I plan to put on back the chain for our foot and now, if we not see what go on. You know, we need to take a stock of ourselves.
So you're going to allow that?
Aye, man.
You're going to allow them to put on the chain on your foot?
Oh, I really, I know, because Rasta go liberate, I feel liberate people, you know.
We are here to liberate the people in a stubborn and rebellious generation, running down destruction and never to seek repentance.
Hello? Call dropped.
I and I freedom fighter, Gavi and Rastafari children, here in Jamaica and the world. Those of us who take side, with Britain and America, like Jamaica government, always see a beat down decks on Tuesday daytime. All of these people, them are just of the African nation. Even the Commonwealth, where them call themselves CARICO, Reparation Council and Jamaica Reparation Council and the church. See the king of Jamaica, the white king, good one slapping on the face. I run in front of Rasta go ask reparation. And him said they not apologize to no. Not go no pay no reparation money. Yet near say them want give loan to CARICOM country, Caribbean country. But through them so licky, we they are watch, if we not go take money from Judgment Ball England and then no one pay reparation when we reach in Africa, not in Jamaica here anyway. Them not recognize we as human until this day, them say we are slave, them for them poor parents, which is them same one, left we are slave.
Okay.
So them work your too.
Well, if you want to go ahead and allow that to happen to you, then over to you.
Oh,
but you are in a better position now to defend yourself and protect yourself.
That's why we are so if righteousness is mightier than sin. So if you turn to righteousness, because we don't have no gun, no weapon. See it? And we don't have no armed force. See, because the armed force in Jamaica here is controlled by Britain and Canada, America, and them train them. See them come down here, come have high level meeting and go train with son and that and set you for one another. Ghana 80. And them do that. See it? So we need to take a stock of ourselves and stop turn ourselves in a puppet for these nations. All whom you talk about reparation, them serve in a King Charles government. Them serve in a King Charles government.
All right, we hear you loud and clear. We're going to have to move on now.
Yes, so repatriation is a must. And remember the West are going to perish, Britain and America, alas, Babylon the Great has fallen. All the merchants of the earth, they are going to wax and fall when America and England fall, And the man say 3/4 of the world are go down with America and England, So make we stand firm in the strength of our master, be loyal, be faithful, and true to the black philosopher Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and lift ID's banner for the future, the red, black, and green, and the red, gold, and green banner for the future, Walking in the future, a black continent, see all its black inhabitants, black sons and daughters around the world, a united Africa, black people. See the unification of us as a people once more, my Lord. Give thanks for your patient listening and wrap of attention, world audience.
Take care. Let's move on. Both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, and Ron is back. Sorry about the dropping of the call. Not sure what happened there. Okay.
I was giving you an analysis of Donald Trump's president-elect, his action on the immigration issue. Of course, it's a big issue because we have had quite a bit of what people would call uncontrolled immigration. So that is immigration who enter through the border areas without the right requisite, and there was a whole lot of people, as you know, coming in that many felt some of them were of a
opportunists.
What I mean by that, we had some of the immigrants, not all of them, particularly from Venezuela, who were allegedly gang members. They had lots of public episodes. One allegedly rape and kill a young girl. That trial is supposed to be happening sometime, and quite a number of them. So we have seen that. Plus, there's this issue which Donald Trump used to his advantage of displacement. You're probably aware that there is massive homelessness in America, particularly because you have evictions, because everything has gone up in this country. So what has been happening is that the public sentiment, particularly from the Black communities, because usually when they bring these immigrants, they carry them, go drop them in Black communities. They don't carry them in white communities. So there was a big issue about resources going towards these people who coming in, particularly from Venezuela, South America, who were not sources. And the African American community said, look at homelessness, look at the sub-condition housing, and all of these issues that weighing down Black people in America. And they of course, the African Americans will point out to you that they built America. Since it was their slave labor that built America. A lot of people not aware of that. You must, and I want our Jamaicans to be aware of that, because a lot of you are not aware that sometimes you come and try pop style on these people, as if you have some, you have some white uncle in America named Sam, So you need to understand, know your lane, and give the respect to the African Americans when you get into the United States. All right, so that's another matter. That issue, in my opinion, has been exploited by Donald Trump's campaign. He used that because that's a very hot issue. There is also, I should inform you, Dervan, there is a conundrum that these quote unquote white countries face. What is that conundrum on immigration? This is the situation. They are not having children. Let me repeat. They are not having enough replacement children in these countries. The gentleman before, the Rastafarian gentleman, mentioned Sweden paying 30,000 to people to go back. I don't know if you're aware that during Margaret Thatcher, Prime Minister of Britain at that time, she also had a scheme where she paid immigrants to go back to their country. In fact,
and the UK had a scheme as well, for the Africans.
What's that?
The UK
yes,
also had a scheme.
Yes, for the African. Yes, because a brethren of mine, his family from Jamaica, they took it and went back to Jamaica. All right. So the conundrum that they face is that there is not enough. There are people not babies. You understand? They dash with belly a lot up here. They do in all these countries, and they're just not big on children. Also, the cost of living to have a child in foreign is 10 times more difficult because daycare center and all of these things, yada yada yada. It's a big factor. So in places like Canada, all of these places, they have been bringing in immigrants from India, some of the highest skill for the tech, so on and so forth. So immigration is a big profit center for these countries. So in other words, they benefit from immigrant labor. But of course, there's also the sentiment from the citizens who live in those countries are saying, oh, come here, bringing all of these people. We don't have enough jobs here. We don't have enough resources here. Yeah, bring them health care, not here. Yeah, divert the little money. So that's a big hot button issue. You understand? So President Trump has exploited that issue to the max to benefit himself. But I'm going to tell you what his real feeling is, in my opinion, and the analysis. So in places like Minnesota, Idaho, those places don't have very many Americans in there. So you have the Haitian immigrants who went up to Springfield, Ohio. You know, those places were like dying. You understand? Then on top of that, the population in these countries have a big, huge drug problem. You have heard of fentanyl?
Yes.
So it's not just the regular drug then.
A Jamaican wrote a book on this as well. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Yes. So the people are lick the drugs. You understand? In those areas. So those areas are dying economically.
One moment, please. Let's take the break and come back.
Yes.
Influencing those who serve, especially in the public sector, is vital to Jamaica's progress towards Vision 2030 and beyond. Many people have worked and diligently given sterling service over the years to the benefit of Jamaicans at home and across the world. Our 106 FM employs its part in showcasing those individuals who serve in building our nation and to create greater public understanding and appreciation of their sacrifice presents the feature Service Stories. Listen to Service Stories every Wednesday at 4 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan right here on Power 106 FM.
Sides of the story.
Thanks for holding. You were saying something about dying economically.
Right. So those areas, and this is across the Western world, those places I mentioned, or Springfield, Ohio, Idaho, Minnesota, a lot of these towns across the U.S., they don't have enough population. And one of the things that they don't tell you, and that's why it's so wicked when you see them fight against our little poor folks in Jamaica having a little child before the community reach out and help and the government help families in Jamaica. We cry down the people and I want to fool them with contraception and abortion to kill off our offspring. These countries, they want the people to come here because they don't have to give them any benefits and they exploit the labor, right? And they will do the dirtiest jobs. They will do the job and not complain. They will work them to death and they not complain. Not the native born people. You can't kind of behavior with them. They know their rights. You understand? So therefore, while they talk, and some will talk and say, oh, you know, Lord, they might come and this and that. The businesses in America and in the Western world want the labor from the Jamaica, from Africa, from all over the places. So they look the other way and employ the people to do the work. They pay them less, they don't get enough benefit, and it's quite buying with them. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, in Trump Hotel, one of these properties, Doral, it was discovered that there were people there who were not properly documented, who were working there. You understand? Because he's in the hospitality business, and you know they don't pay a lot of money in hospitality, right? And they're glad to get these people. These are the people who do the nanny work and the lawn and the roof and all of that stuff. So it's a windfall for America. Now, to buttress my argument, a senior senator in America from the state of New York, Chuck Schumer, he was on television in New York City. He said he was defending the influx of immigrants, bus and so on and plane taken to New York City. He said that the United States needs millions of workers. You hear what I said? This is a direct quote. And I can go look it up. He said, this is a senior senator in the United States, speaking for the Democratic party and the government, that they need them. So, okay. So I'm saying about Mr. Trump. Well, that whole thing was part of the political game. I am going to predict to you today that what is going to happen, there are many quote unquote criminal aliens. What am I talking about? I'm talking about immigrants who have come here, who have ran afoul of the law, and them get deportation order, and many of them go hide. You understand? They didn't leave. Many of them get voluntary thing to deport yourself. They didn't leave. They are here. Some of them still in doing all kind of stuff. Well, I am going to predict that those people are going to be picked up and taken out. Right? I've seen it. It was done before in the previous Trump administration with his first term. And you're going to have a lot of emphasis on those folks. But I'm going to predict that there's not going to be this a big show of it. Of course, it's going to be because you have to send a message, hey, don't be too comfortable. But I'm going to tell you that the imperative, the must and bound, in other words, for Jamaicans to understand what I'm saying, businesses to have to keep down the wages in the United States, especially since they are competing. They are now vicious competition with the Chinese. And not only the Chinese, but the Asian economies. Therefore, I am predicting that the dust settles. Trump is going to do, of course, he's going to seal the border because everybody was just kind of like flooding over. It was, the people were just streaming in. And you have to, I have a lot of sympathy for the people as a third world person myself. What's his name? Jimmy Cliff has a song, which if one day you find it, I would love to hear it if you got it, called Third World People. Remember where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. Yes, man, a beautiful song. So those countries, particularly Venezuela, that has been on the most crippling, back-breaking, mash-up country sanction that the government of Jamaica signed and joined into to help to mash up Venezuela. Yes, Andrew Ole's administration, especially when you consider that Venezuela was very, very good to the Jamaicans, not only the Jamaicans, the Haitians, all the Caribbean countries, with literally giving us that oil called Petro-Carib program. And I want you to remember this, Dervan. That is because of Venezuela writing off half of Jamaica's debt. That's why we have breathing room for the minister, former minister of finance, jumping and saying, oh, what a marvelous job he did. Is the Venezuelan, because if we had to pay back that money, all hell would be raining on Jamaica. So that program and that relationship that we had with our Caribbean neighbor, Venezuela, has helped Jamaica tremendously, the region. And in fact, Dervan, did you know that Hugo Chavez was giving free oil to people across the United States? There was the Petro-Carib program was also given to the United States. And what's his name? Kennedy, one of the Kennedy brothers, the grandson or whatever it is, one of the Kennedy family members was in charge of that program up to a few years ago. Mm-hmm. That's how, this is the kind of solidarity. But how this whole politics with controlling resources. And our people have to know, all Jamaicans have to understand. We can't come with one like no Gladys. $5 million US a month, Dervan, is spent by Jamaicans trying to get a visa to go to the promised land. Were you aware of that, sir?
No, I knew that it was at one stage raking in as a U.S. embassy, raking in the amount of money that it brought in was
Yes.
It stood out.
And what I'm going to say to my people, Jamaicans, when have got act different, when get too phony, when live too bad with one another down on the island, when go on like when show up, when they on a show up parade for one another. What's wrong with them? When see what the world around. When the things say them, everybody, listen, Jamaican people, you're not helping one another. The family dirty. Jamaican people. This is not a game. History continues. You understand? History is a continuum. The same kind of characters, the Rastafarian gentleman, which he gave a beautiful talk. And don't take what that man said lightly. Because the ancestors bring people like these, the meek of the earth, to talk, in a pompous state. I've never seen a country that turn its back on its history, turn its back on its ancestor, have mash up family thing. What is going to be the future of the generation in Jamaica? What kind of country is this? We don't realize that our best days are behind us. And we don't equip the youths them to fight. We have not equipped the youths to fight. We don't even teach the youths them any history. You understand? This is a competitive dog-eat-dog world. And we have to look out for our people. Anytime at Jamaican, let me tell you something, Dervan. This is my philosophy. I want to see a Jamaican anywhere. And I never pass a Jamaican. I see a Jamaican in the neighborhood. Right? Jamaican in the neighborhood passing me right at the gate. I'm not saying morning or nothing in a white man land. We in a white neighborhood because the white people control it. And the man never even said to me, and I tried to catch the fellow. This is how stupid black people are, man. You don't understand who is your ally. You got to understand this thing. And we can learn something from the African Americans. We have a lot of sellout people within our ranks, Dervan, all over the world. Remember I tell you about the leaders in Africa that sell out their people. And a lot of them free because they have been assassinated when they stand up to give their people something, to make the resources benefit them. We've seen that. We're looking at the slaughter in Sudan.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, before the time runs out, Dervan, the government of Jamaica announced that they are going to be spending millions more US dollars to rebrand the image of Jamaica. Did you hear that news release? Huh?
When did that break?
Did you hear that news release, Dervan?
No.
You're with me, Dervan?
Yes. I'm saying
Hello?
no. I'm saying no. I didn't hear that. Hello?
Dervan?
Yes. Are you hearing me? Hello?
Dervan?
Yes, I'm here. Are you here?
Oh, you're hearing me. Okay. Oh, I'm not. Hold on. It's probably it's my link. Yes. You heard of that? About the government rebranding the image of Jamaica?
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, Yes, I think I.
Yes, I saw the news release.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you imagine? This is how we are subsidizing tourist hotels that are essentially foreign owned, where them repatriate them profits back to them country. Skewed benefit to the economy of Jamaica. Now if you are saying they said that they're rebranding it, and I guess the rationale is that because of the crime reports that the American government has been putting out and the Canadian government warning about conditions in Jamaica with healthcare and crime. Now, hear this irony now. So we are going to pump millions more.
Hold a moment. Hold a moment, please.
Yes.
Join us every Sunday for Indian Talent on Parade with Dr. Winston Nolan from 5 to 6 p.m. Listen and learn all you need to know about the Indian community, culture, and music. That's Indian Talent on Parade with Dr. Winston Nolan, 5 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, right here on Power 106 and the Power 106 FM app.
Thanks for staying with us here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Thanks for holding the line, Ron. We're back with you.
Yes, so the government of Jamaica now is going to spend millions to rebrand the image of the island. And so they're going to spend that money now with advertising agencies in the United States to put it on the US media and Canadian media and whatever. So they are going to make more money off of this. Now tell me something. We know that a lot of these communities that are volatile in Jamaica, we can put it on a bulletin board where most of the crime, antisocial behavior coming from. So we know those areas. You would agree with that, Dervan?
Oh, yes.
Yes, so we know. And we know that in these communities, a lot of these communities are run down. They still have the people that live behind these wicked zinc. Have the people them like them have like your kids, savages in these so-called volatile communities, right? We still have the same things. So you want to tell me what kind of rehabilitation program in communities?
Well, for what it's worth, there is some of that. Some of those fences have been removed.
Some of those fences. But we need to remove, listen, this incremental thing. We have some resources can do things to help our country now. But we keep putting the resources, we either giving back these foreigners to come pimp the island. Look at all that colossal amount of money needs. You realize how much money the government borrow from World Bank, and we contributing to put in this nonsense thing about needs, which is really a biometric surveillance system. That's what it is, you know. What is the benefit? Remember now in Dervan that the same Jamaica government spent millions, I'm talking about US, to print the national ID, which was supposed to be the one that we use to vote. Did you remember that, sir?
Yeah.
You remember? And so the government now go put more debt on the people. No wickedness, this man. The government don't represent the Jamaican people. They must just tell us that they are a puppet of foreign. Look at Dervan. Look at how telecom, and I know I'm kind of jumping on these issues. Telecom sector. Look how much of our people are technically advanced, been to school. We had one little Jamaican company that said that they wanted to start a little service down there. And we make the foreign government bully our government down there and grab back the license from them. You remember that thing, Dervan?
Mm-hmm.
And now them bringing in Elon Musk now with Starlink to come dominate the whole island. What is this? Are we supposed to be just slaves and just run out of the country and go catching off for them place? And work for them and take care of them old people and take care of them babies and all of that for it. Jamaican black people, open your eyes. You cannot, in the face of what we are up against, and you still out there kill one another and murder one another and mash up the community against one another, Jamaicans. Jamaicans only not listen, man. And you see you Jamaican parents who just lick up on a picnic, who not aggressively educating on the youth. And I go back again about the men, the boy children, who are not aggressively. Let me tell you, and I hope you guys and family who are listening, that your children have a library card. I want to take on a picnic about library at Saturday daytime. I want to tap on children. I want to go into the school at the parent teachers meeting. I want to showing up. I want to just wait till the picnic them get in trouble. Jamaican black people, we have to do better because we cannot just allow to watch 65,000 Jamaicans murdered on the little island. We're not shame. 65,000. You think that those were Chinese children or Syrian children? You think that they would allow that in Jamaica? I'm going to sing on the cock up in Jamaica. All over the place. And I run down white man in a film country up with them election. I want to buy it out like when I have a big stake in it. I want to look at foolishness about Jamaican woman in a thing there. Jamaicans, stop it. We need to get wise. Listen, we're going to watch because as we are getting older and we're going closer to exiting, and our little youths them leaving down here, and we don't make no provision. The same conditions, we have a booking master, control everything. We have a prime minister, just totally, Andrew one is, you're not looking good out there. You're not looking good out there. Mark Golden, we're not impressed with you. We're not impressed with you, Mark Golden. So if you're looking, you're just waiting, you just sit down by the door and wait for the default. And that other gentleman from Manchester, Peter Bunting, you're another joker. You had the security ministry and you couldn't do nothing with it as a black man. I don't even think you consider yourself a black man. How can you watch your people, these young people? You don't see yourself in these young people. And watching them, come on. Peter Bunting, you need to sit down. Get out of the politics. You think you have birthright in this thing? I want to see the youth. I want to see the young people step up. What is happening at the university? What is happening at the University of the West Indies, Dervan?
That's a good
How
question.
do you seem so quiet up there? And what kind of youth we're producing? It's just self-aggrandizement. And you come out with a piece of paper and you feel all so flattered with yourself. Come on, young people. You're not going to have to be inspired. I know that a lot of the parents are not inspirational. A lot of these parents, they're just not. But we have, Dervan, we have made so much progress during the 70s in education, in access to education. We carry the education. Michael Manley expand the education. I see them rolling it back now. So it's only a selected few can go to the university down here. And then the foreigners take away the rest of our bright children. I want to celebrate and run, send them go foreign, go get indoctrinated. And then they never come back to the island. Because now you have them up there. I notice the Gleaner have this practice to be celebrating people building a foreign country. What is that? Why are you claiming everybody that came from Jamaica? And they don't want to be claimed. Dervan, did you see the new leader of the opposition in Britain? You don't aware of the leader of the Dervan.
Sorry, the quality of the call dropped a while ago.
Oh, okay. No, I was asking you, are you aware of the new opposition leader in the UK?
No.
Okay. She's of Nigerian heritage and a black woman. And she was born in Britain with Nigerian parents. And the Nigerian government them run to go claim her. Because, this is what our little idiot governments run to do, as the gentleman mentioned. And the woman snubbed them, the new opposition of the Conservative Party. She snubbed them. She's not really into Nigeria. And this is a woman who, by the way, a black woman, who should defend Britain's slavery past. Can you imagine that?
Defend.
You heard what I just said?
I've never heard that before. Defend.
Yes, she's making excuse for British slavery. So, you're not getting no reparations from her. And, she says a lot of controversial things. Nevertheless, she's the leader of the opposition in the UK. Why I'm mentioning all these things, we got to understand something. There was a scholar by the name of Neely Fuller many years ago. He said there's going to be a time when they are going to be doing what you call racial showcasing. What does he mean by that? He means they'll be putting black faces. We'll put black faces in official position, in high places. So you see them and you say, boy, see a black person, it's nice that we have a black person. But then when you really check the politics, you realize that the person does not align with your values, and he is not there to represent you because he's a black face. So this is something that we have to teach our children about, because we have to have an understanding of how the world works. You understand? So just like how during the days on the plantation, you had a lot of black roast bread fruit, as they would say in Jamaica, who was serving the master and who would round you up, send you out to go, send them out to go catch you, bring you back on the plantation, or if you're planning to run.
Speaking of running, I'm gonna have to run.
Yes, I appreciate your indulgence and your audience. And again, I said to Jamaican people, take care of each other.
Thank you.
Look out for each other as black people. You have only your own people to depend on when the going gets rough. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Take care. All the best.
All right.
Wonderful. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. all things being well, both sides of the story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5, unless, of course, you don't mind getting up at the same time in the morning. But thank you very much nonetheless, whichever way it turns out. Thank you for tuning in as well. And thank you very much, Adrian Reed. Thanks to all our viewers and listeners. And thank you, Akeelia Moore, and the other members of the team. All the best. Have a great weekend. Take care.
Our 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.
So, where's that? Saturday?
Yes.
All says Saturday morning.
Yes.
6 to 9, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Always look forward.
Thank you.
All right, all the best now.
Same to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.